When you talk to your cat, what do you really think they're hearing? Most owners imagine their cats catch only fragments of the message, or maybe nothing at all, but the truth is far more intriguing. Your cat is not simply hearing your voice, they are experiencing it in a way no human ever could, picking up details so small and so precise that we barely notice they exist. And once you understand what those details mean, you begin to see your cat's reactions in an entirely new light. But here's the part most people never realize. The way your cat listens to you is nothing like the way humans listen to each other. Cats don't search for meaning in words. They search for meaning in tone, rhythm, and the emotional signature buried inside your voice. To them, every sound you make carries clues about your intention, your mood, and your relationship with them. This is why your voice affects your cat far more deeply than you imagine. Stay with me until the end of this video, because you're about to discover how cats truly hear humans and what happens inside their brain the moment they recognize your voice. Once you understand this, everything about the way your cat responds to you will make sense in a way it never has before. When you speak, your cat is not listening for words. They are scanning your voice for patterns. Every sound you produce breaks into elements your cat processes instantly. The first thing they pick up is your pitch. Cats are especially sensitive to higher frequencies, so even the smallest rise in your voice stands out to them like a bright color in a dark room. This is why a softer or slightly higher tone often catches their attention faster than a normal speaking voice. Next comes rhythm. Humans speak with natural patterns we barely notice, but to a cat, these patterns are clear and meaningful. The tempo of your voice, the pauses you make, the way certain syllables stretch or soften become cues that help your cat understand whether you are calling, asking, comforting, or simply talking without directing anything toward them. This rhythm becomes familiar over time, almost like a personal signature. Then there is emotional tone. Cats react to emotion far more than vocabulary. A warm tone can call them closer, even if the sentence means nothing to them. A tense or hurried tone can make them hesitate, even if you're saying something positive. Your emotional state shapes the vibration of your voice, and your cat feels those vibrations long before they interpret them. And what makes this even more fascinating is how fast this process happens. Your cat doesn't think about these elements, they sense them automatically. While humans analyze language step by step, cats experience sound as a complete picture. They know within seconds whether your voice signals safety, playfulness, uncertainty, or something that requires distance. And this is why cats react to your voice differently from how they react to anyone else's. Your cat can recognize you long before you say a single word. Every person carries a unique acoustic identity, and your cat has learned yours with remarkable precision. The moment you enter a room, your cat begins matching sounds to memories. The soft rhythm of your steps, the way your clothes move when you walk, the pattern of your breathing, even the slight difference in how you open a door compared to someone else. All of these cues tell your cat that you are the one approaching. When you start speaking, this recognition becomes even clearer. Your cat doesn't need the full sentence to know it is you. The texture of your voice, the way it resonates when you speak from the chest, the pace at which you form phrases, and the small fluctuations in your tone create a pattern no other person replicates. To your cat, these elements combine like a familiar melody. They do not need to analyze it, they simply know it. This recognition is so strong that it works even when they cannot see you. If you call from another room or speak behind a closed door, your cat still identifies you instantly. They're not guessing. They are responding to a sound map they have built over time, a map shaped by daily interactions, routines, and the emotional bond you share with them. This is why your voice can calm your cat faster than anyone else's voice can, and why certain sounds you make draw their attention even when the room is noisy. For them, your voice is part of their environment, something reliable and deeply familiar, something that signals presence, routine, and safety. There are moments when your cat reveals without any doubt that they recognize your voice. One of the clearest signs is the way their ears react. Even if they appear relaxed or half asleep, their ears will lift or turn slightly the moment they hear you speak. It is an instinctive movement, a quick acknowledgement that they know exactly who is talking. Another common behavior is the head turn.
Cats rarely waste energy, so when they decide to look in your direction after hearing your voice, it means they have identified something familiar and worth their attention. This is not random curiosity, it is recognition. You might also notice that your cat pauses what they are doing when you call them in a certain tone. Whether they are grooming, playing, or observing something, they momentarily stop to analyze the intention behind your voice. It is a subtle but important sign that your voice carries weight in their environment. Some cats begin to purr even before you reach them. The sound of your voice alone can trigger this response, especially if they associate your tone with comfort or affection. This early purr is not about touch, it is about anticipation. And of course, there's the moment every cat owner knows well. The instant you use the right tone, the one that signals warmth or familiarity, your cat comes running. It is not the word that matters, but the emotional cue wrapped inside your voice. The consistency of these reactions across different situations is one of the strongest proofs that your cat is responding to your voice specifically, not just to random sound. These behaviors aren't accidents. They reveal recognition, trust, and a deep emotional familiarity built over time.
There are certain human sounds that activate a cat's attention almost instantly, and most owners have no idea they are using these sounds every day. One of the strongest triggers is the slight rise in pitch that naturally appears when you speak with affection. Even a small lift in your voice creates a high, clear frequency that cats detect instantly. To them, this sound signals safety and familiarity, something that invites them to pay attention. Whispers also have a surprising effect. When you lower your voice and speak with softness, your cat picks up the fine vibrations in the sound. These gentle frequencies feel less threatening and more personal, which is why many cats respond so quickly to a quiet call or a soft phrase spoken at close range. Repetitive sounds are another powerful signal. When you repeat a short word, a syllable, or a pattern your cat hears often, it becomes a recognizable cue. These patterns stand out to them like a rhythm they can follow. It is not the content of the word that matters, but the predictability of the sound. Calling your cat's name with warmth carries its own unique effect. Over time, your cat begins to associate the specific way you say their name with comfort, routine, or attention. What engages them is the emotional layer inside the sound, not the name itself. And then there is the most subtle sound of all, a tiny high-frequency note that appears naturally when you speak with care or raise your tone slightly. Humans barely notice it, but cats respond to it immediately. This sound tells them everything is safe, that the voice they are hearing belongs to someone they trust, and that the moment is meant for them. These sounds are powerful because they match the way cats are wired to interpret the world, through subtle vibrations, tones, and emotional traces hidden in every breath and word.
One of the main reasons cats seem to ignore their owners has nothing to do with stubbornness or lack of interest. In most cases, the problem is the tone people use without realizing it. When someone speaks too loudly, too quickly, or with tension in their voice, a cat's instinct interprets that sound as a warning. Even if you are not upset, the sharpness in your tone creates a signal of uncertainty. Your cat reacts by keeping distance, staying still, or pretending not to hear, not out of defiance, but out of self-protection. Another common issue happens when the owner changes their natural speaking pattern around the cat. A sudden shift in tone or intensity confuses them because cats rely heavily on consistency to understand intention. If your voice sounds rushed, stressed, or heavy, your cat senses the emotional imbalance long before they understand the context. What humans interpret as no response is often your cat waiting for the emotional tone to settle. This is why a calm, steady voice works so effectively. When your tone remains soft and predictable, your cat processes it as a safe signal. They respond faster, approach more easily, and interact with more confidence. It is not about the words, it's about the emotional clarity behind them. When cats appear to ignore you, they are not refusing to listen. They are choosing the safest reaction based on the sound you gave them. And the moment you adjust your tone, the difference becomes unmistakable. So when your cat doesn't react right away, it has nothing to do with disobedience. Cats are not listening for commands or trying to decode individual words. They are listening to the person behind the voice, to the intention, the emotional weight, and the familiar patterns you carry every time you speak. Your voice becomes the bridge between your world and theirs. And once you understand how deeply they interpret these sounds, every interaction takes on a new meaning. Your voice becomes more than noise. It becomes connection. But here's something even more surprising. If the way your cat hears you already changes the way you understand them, wait until you discover how they actually see you. Most owners think their cat looks at them the same way they look at other humans, but what your cat perceives is completely different from anything people imagine. Their vision, their instincts, and their interpretation of your presence create a version of you that might shock you. You might believe your cat sees you as a caregiver or a friend, but the truth reveals a role far more complex and far more revealing about your bond. If you want to understand what you truly are in your cat's world, click on the video appearing on your screen and discover how your cat sees you in a way no human ever will. I'll see you there.